Hi, this is Al Kasem, sitting in for my uncle Casey Kasem for a special version of American Top 40, a tribute to an indie artist named Father Time. In the years 2001 through 2003, in that galaxy known as Indie Land, Father Time was considered an internet star, which means nobody outside a few small circles ever heard of him. He lit up the MP3.com charts back then with the most #1 songs for any rock or alternative act. Then Vivendi, a major label, usurped MP3.com and all the indies got thrown out of the building. That's where the success train stopped for Father Time, but his music kept coming. This countdown features his best guitar solos from the 30 years he's been home recording his own music. Also, we added a few surprises from the FT vaults. Folks, you're in for a treat. This was going to be a top 40 list, but we couldn't cut it off at 40, so we're presenting the top 60 Father Time guitar solos. And starting off at number 60 is a solo from the song that put Father Time on the indie map. His famous hip-hop protest was starting to go viral, but MP3.com pulled the song off his page to quell the hysteria it caused. Here's the first and main solo from Rock for the Sake of Rock. The next solo comes from a song that debuted at #1 at MP3.com, but it's no longer available online. It's very controversial and has mature subject matter, so Father Time decided to keep it in his vaults as a collector's item MP3. At number 59, with backing from the one and only Ziza, it's a solo from First Time Farther. Coming in at number 58, we have some subtle soloing on what is more or less an acoustic song titled Which One? You and I together, yeah, we made a greater force. Fringe benefit, you got to be the one FT adores. You took it all for granted from up on your high horse. And when you take a crap on me, you're feeling no remorse. You're playing all your games, were you playing me, of course. You play not taking sides so much that now I'm not on yours. The only solo in this countdown that comes from a cover song is as much keyboard as guitar, but some consider it the finest production work FT has ever done. Scott himself calls it his best crescendo. From a song written by Stephen Stills for Buffalo Springfield, at number 57, here's the third solo from Rock and Roll Woman. Melodic guitar work doesn't necessarily require a lot of dexterity. Father Time likes solos that stay in your head, and at number 56, his solo for You Got the Magnet, a song from the Stand By Right record called Colored Vinyl, wasn't hard to play but fits that song like a glove.
Put some mustard on it.
Father Time's song Girl Turn Yourself Loose on Me has such a long title that it's now known as its abbreviation GTYLOM. It's classic rock and psychedelic, an anthem filled to the brim with all kinds of guitar work. But for this countdown, it's the first solo in Jatailom that charted at number 55. During the 2000 presidential election, the contest was so close that the Supreme Court had to step in, and to this day folks wonder if that whole thing went down properly. Father Time wrote a song about Bush versus Gore and tied it into his own aspirations about being the president of rock. At number 54 in the countdown is the out-of-the-blue Hawaiian solo from Who is the President? The third solo from Balcony, The Reprise, off the Colored Vinyl record, comes in at number 53. It actually starts as a combination of the first two solos from that song. It's sultry and sexy, just like the song it came from, which was written by Jillian Wright and adapted into The Reprise. Next up, it's the second solo from 73, the song about Barry Bonds and steroids in baseball. This solo leaped into the charts at number 52, simply for a little 5-second run in the middle that Father Time thinks is one of the most inspired morsels of guitar he ever came up with.
Superman.
Moving right along, at number 51 is the first solo from Never Had a Rocker, also from the Colored Vinyl record. The girl in the song never had a rocker, but now she has FT. to the countdown. Debuting at number 50 is something you probably never heard. That's because it's from a Father Time song that was never released online, except for being played live at FT's Second Life concerts. It's the first solo from a song called Stop. Coming in at number 49 is the solo from Insatiable, the Stand By Right song that actually got to number 3 in the Cashbox Indie charts. The song itself was written by Jillian Wright. Father Time once had a side project with an artist named Noah Spaceship called Ogopogo. Here's a solo from I Came, I Saw. It's at number 48. And the fog that blanketed the valley lingered for most of the ride. At number 47 is a strange melange of guitar sound that was a coda and second solo from the song Over the Hump from Father Time's first release. Also from FT's first CD is the first solo from Stuck in My Head at number 46. Finally you just went silent. I was left there a shell of myself, came to you so violent, but I left there as somebody else. Coming in at number 45, the raw guitar sound of the first solo from the song Crony. Okay, we're coming to one of Father Time's solos that is a bit avant-garde. At number 44, it's the solo from 47, the song about Kenneth Arnold and the advent of the UFO phenomenon, which took place in 1947. Moving right along, number 43 comes from a song produced by Carl Frick with V drums by Dave Morris. It's the folky solo from Old 22, which is a road that runs across the state of Pennsylvania. Here's the song that came from a recording on 4-track cassette. It's the wild and charismatic sound of the solo from Too Fast for You at number 42. I don't know why, but you and I were not created equal. No, you're on the first page, I'm on the last page. I'm gonna skip the sequel. Time for another solo from an unreleased song. This one is called Wedding Bell Blues, coming in at number 41. Father Time doesn't just play rock songs. At number 40 we have the tasteful solo from You Must Know, which at least one indie guitar hero said was the best he ever heard FT play. You Must Know was the first song FT had that debuted at number 1, something that pretty much never happened at mp3.com until Father Time later had a string of 7 consecutive songs that did the same. Coming in at number 39 is the fade out to the song Do the People Care, which was written by Julianne Wright with the bridge and guitar work added by Father Time. Here's another solo from the unreleased song Stop at number 38. It's the ending which FT considers pretty much the coolest ending to a song he ever recorded. Stop the holding, stop the kissing. No time left for reminiscing. The first song that Father Time ever did that could be considered an internet hit was called So Reluctant. And at number 37, here's the second solo from that song. So Reluctant is a song a well-known indie website didn't want as their site-wide top song, so they cheated on their charts. And got caught Scott just happened to be online and in his administration area while they were doctoring his stats. They wanted to destroy him, but they made him stronger. Here's the solo for So Reluctant. Now it's time for something extra outside the top 60 Father Time guitar solos chart. Occasionally FT does a solo using some other instrument, and here's one of his favorites, a vibes solo from a song produced by Robbie Raybuck called Show Me. A recent tune from Father Time, I Can't Say, comes in with a number 36 solo. American Top 40 is heard all around the world except for North Korea. It's even broadcast on 14 stations in Guam. Moving right along, it's the first solo from Bully Baby. Father Time plays blues rock in his own way, takes no prisoners, and this one is at number 35. The opening song from the colored vinyl CD was called Waiting for the Coronation. Coming in at number 34, the wine's flowing out of the chalice and the earth could just start moving at any time. I hope you can keep your feet. The number 33 solo is from the song Awakening Day. In the genre of Father Time called Rehab Rock, it's the first solo from that tune, from FT's first CD. Time has been responsible for some memorable riffs, and here's the guitar motif from the song Flounder, coming in at the number 32 solo. The world is turning as you flounder. Alright, time for another surprise. This solo is not a part of the guitar solo chart because it has no guitar. It's the coda to After the Lord Mayor's Show off the colored vinyl record, which was also used for the intermission, halfway through the 113 solos on Father Time's guitar solo project, Guitarnado. Another recent song and one of FT's all-time favorites is called Everybody's Into Their Own Thing. The second solo from that song is up to number 31. I think it's time that your lame ass starts to again give a fuck like you used to back before your heart got stuck. At number 30 is one of Father Time's most sensitive solos, which almost has to be heard in context to get the most out of it, but it's still sweet to my ears on its own. From the colored vinyl CD by Stand All Right, this is from a song written by Jillian Wright called Italy. Before he released any music whatsoever, Father Time recorded an EP on 4-track cassette called It's a Great Life. Two previous songs featured in this countdown, Stop and Wedding Bell Blues, were on that EP. And here's the raucous solo from the title cut, coming in at number 29. Here's a solo from a song that was praised after being played on the colored vinyl CD in a car by the late Jim Carroll and former Rolling Stone critic and member of the Patti Smith Band, Lenny Kaye. Music by Jillian Wright, lyrics by Father Time. The solo brings some extra soul to the Motownish tune and lands at number 28 on the countdown. The song is called Dancing into the Truth. The number 27 solo is the short first solo from the underrated FT song, Is It Something I Said? I'm waiting for the day that you admit you're wrong. If you want to hear the full songs, go to fathertime.bandcamp.com or standballright.bandcamp.com. That's right with a W. Father Time's most recent tune was the hair band rocker called Love to Rock Ya, with backing from Mike Steele. That solo debuts at number 26. This next solo achieved a bit of notoriety when the song was released. Mr. Locust from mp3.com called it the solo of a lifetime. At number 25, it's the first solo from one of Father Time's theme songs called Incorrigible. From a wild, unhinged solo to something very deep and subdued. At number 24, we have the second solo from another unreleased Father Time song called Now, which he sung occasionally live at Second Life. Another Father Time song is the appropriately named Big Fish, and the solo for that song is at number 23. He's got a way with words, but his message is blurred by the jealous fools and their lying drool. There's quite a story about the number 22 solo on the Father Time's Greatest Guitar Solos chart. When FT was recording this solo, at the very end of it he got so involved in bending the last note that his guitar strap came loose and his Strat went flying into his desk with a recorder on it, sending a lot of equipment to the floor in a heap, including the guitar and the recorder and the desk. He was sure he broke something, but luckily he didn't, and what was left on tape sounded good enough that he left it as a first solo in the song, which is called Rustlin' of the Trees. The song Bobby Delaney was written by Scott and produced by Dave Morris. It's about a real person named Slightly Changed who could have had glory, but through decisions his ego made, he sabotaged himself. Does Father Time relate to him? Here's the number 21 solo, and it's a crazy one. From the colored vinyl record, the number 20 solo is the first solo in Car Song. My boat is coming down your river, the wind is mighty into my sails, and I have got one destination, but I cannot give you details. At number number 19, we have the solo from a somewhat obscure Father Time song called One Woman Times Three. Putting guitar solos on his songs was the last thing Scott did when recording them. He always saved his favorite thing for last. Now it's time for our long-distance dedication. Anonymous from the VS Planet writes, I first ran into Scott at the Planet. I really don't get the reaction. Okay, he was a little too into himself, but I don't think anyone can deny that his music was musically and lyrically pretty good. Sometimes I think Planeteers are too timid to speak up about how good he is, because they're intimidated by all the jealous haters. So I'd like to send this song out to Grits and Slots and Popmen, because I think that must be the kind of person Scott was writing about when he wrote, Just Another Loser in My Life. Okay, Anonymous, here it is, the whole song, Just Another Loser in My Life. And incidentally, the first main solo from this song is at number 18 on our countdown.
Another loser in my life, another loser in my life, another loser, just another loser in my life, another loser in my life, another loser in my life, another loser. Your door's like a manhole inside makes me feel so low. Why did I not step out of your aura years ago? Each encounter with your ego flirted with the breaking point. Bullshit and you did disappoint. Just another loser in my life, another loser in my life, another loser in my life, another loser. Just another loser in my life, another loser in my life, another loser in my life. My wife's brother, that bitch at work, my yuppie neighbors, some drunken jerk. Out of town mechanic or a postal clerk. In every corner, another loser lurks. Not another one. Yeah! Now I spend long hours living in this tiny box. And if you find the key, I'll soon be changing all the locks. I'm playing the percentages and shrugging off the human race. 99 more assholes and the one I find's not worth the chase. Just another loser in my life, another loser in my life, another loser in my life, another loser. Just another loser in my life, another loser in my life, another loser in my life. Give me a break. Another loser in my life, another loser in my life, another loser in my life. Another loser in my life. Another loser in my life. Another loser in my life.
Just another loser. See ya. Moving along at number 17 could be the most insidiously catchy solo Father Time ever played, from the song Sweetness and Evil. It's soft and honest and almost demure. Solo number 16 is the first solo from Rustling of the Trees. It's the rustling of the trees in my fool head that you're hearing. I don't know what's coming next. Hope it won't be what I'm fearing, that you'll soon be disappearing. Perhaps Father Time's most famous song is called Walmartville, and at number 15, here's the solo. Live in the U.S., stay close to the nest, and yes, we lost our culture. At number 14, we have the second solo from a song Scott wrote about a house he lived in for 7 years, and that proverbial rut that a life can fall into. Believe it or not, the town this took place in was actually called Hellam, and that song is Hardship Lane. One of the indie catchphrases from 2009 was "It comes when it comes," and that was due to the Stand By Right song of that name, of which the solo is at number 13 on our countdown. The next solo comes from one of Father Time's most controversial songs, about the brutal paddlings he took from his 4th grade teacher. The best part of this solo is actually the psychedelic organ part at the beginning, but it does go directly into a twisted guitar passage as well. At number 12, here's the solo from Miss Will's Frustration. Is It Something I Said features 2 solos in the top 60, and the second one is the number 11 song on our countdown. we're finally at the top 10. And at number 10 is a solo that many people recognize from FT's signature tune, Virtual Star. This solo actually even sounded quite good when done up on a Casio one time by an artist named Kurtz to be used in a video game. Another song with two solos in the top 60 is Everybody's Into Their Own Thing. The first solo from that song is at number 9. American Top 40 is heard on Armed Forces Radio and as of 2012 is now broadcast on drones sent into Pakistan. We're all the way up to number 8, and these solos really have the magic. There's something mind-bendingly mystic about this one, the second solo from a Stand By Right song called The Room. You already heard the first solo from Awakening Day at number 33. Here's the second solo at number 7. Watching the world pass us by like the scenery in the background of an old TV show. I've seen that same street corner newsstand again and again. Yeah, here it comes now.
And that's why I play.
Coming in at number 6 is probably the most popular riff Scott ever wrote, from a song with the same title as the record it's on, the solo from Soul Pinata. And in the top 5, at number 5, is the ending solo, the second solo from Old Fury, a song about Scott's first car from the debut CD. A music lover with a screen name Banker would never fail to ask Father Time to put this one up for him. It's the longest solo on the countdown, and according to Father Time, was influenced by the surf guitar legends. Moving along at number 4 in the countdown, we have the contagious solo motif from The Rune, which runs through that song and makes it one of the best things Stand By Right ever recorded. Currently this song is unavailable, but Scott promises a new mix very soon. Now, at number 3, it's the second solo from Living on a Treadmill, which Father Time considers a song that contains the best guitar playing he's ever done. Living like a slave, trying to save what I already gave. The number 2 solo on the list of Father Time's 60 greatest guitar solos is seriously insane and comes from a song called The Night She Met Me. Here's the full song so you can hear this solo in its actual context. One Planeteer said about Father Time when he heard this song upon release, "The tunes never stop, the rockin' driven guitar is almost holy."
I saw an angel in the drive-through window. We had a chemistry, yeah, she dropped my soda on the pavement. Something electric. I somehow came to ask her what she's doing after work. She said she was supposed to meet some guy, but he's a jerk. I said you were supposed to, and she gave me a little smirk the night she met me. In the backseat there we were just both undressing, pounding on the window, some guy saying I'm messing with this baby. Now he's gonna get me. I leaped into the front seat, put my foot down on the gas, looked into the rearview mirror and saw that big dude on his ass. We headed to another spot, and oh, we laughed and laughed the night she met me. Basking in the night heat, taking in the moonlight, slide over in the car seat, everything was alright. Well, she and I, we had some times together, and we might have more if I should see you cruising down my highway. She could never forget me. But that goes for me to remember her quite well. Those were my innocent miss a day she brought me out my share. Every time I stop for a burger, I think of the way that soda fell. The night she met me, it was the night that she met me. Night that she met me. Night that she met me. She was cool. The night that she met me. Night that she met me. Night that she met me. Ooh, the night that she met me. Night that she met me.
After this chart was already compiled and the #1 solo determined, a well-known indie picked this song as his favorite from the list that he heard. At the very top of the countdown is the first and main solo from Treadmill. Here it is from a song written back in 1980, the #1 Father Time solo. Well, that's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed the countdown. If you want to hear the full songs, go to fathertime.bandcamp.com or standballright.bandcamp.com. That's right with a W. So, as my Uncle Casey liked to say, keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars. You may even be the last rock hope someday.